In 2 weeks, I'm going to do a silver giveaway on this channel as a token of my appreciation from all the support on this channel as of recently. So make sure you click subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss when the entry video gets posted. And like always, may the luckiest stacker win. Welcome, thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer, and if you want the latest information on what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of precious metals, make sure that you're subscribed. You gotta stay up to date, especially nowadays with so much news happening day after day. You gotta know what's going on, and I'll do that for you. We're going to be breaking down 2 articles in this video. This first one is mentioning how silver has surged to record highs, but could it go berserk? A lot of people are wondering, was that the big rally and now silver's just gonna settle down? You know, was that the big explosion, or was this just a little pullback and it's going to go higher very, very soon? Then this article, this is the good one, the meat and potatoes from Eric Fry. The Great Silver Shortage, Why Prices Are Poised to Break Out Again. So he's mentioning that actually this wasn't the explosion. This was just the beginning, and he's going to give his case on why silver's actually going to break records again like we saw last week. So yeah, I'll post these links in the description. Yeah, let's jump straight into it. So gold continues to surge and silver's finally along for the ride. Blue Ocean analyst Carlos Crowley Vasquez says the potential there for silver is to jump to $70 to $100 an ounce. The firm has laid out its top picks for silver exposure. We're not going to really go into that, but I do think a lot of people are still bullish. And actually, comment down below what you think. Do you think that silver is going to continue to start breaking records again, or do you think that was the big explosion, the big bang? I personally think that we're going to see a lot of volatility, probably sitting around this price, might break some records again and then pull back a little bit. At least that's what I hope happens. I don't want it to just skyrocket to 100 in a couple of days or a week. That's not healthy for prices to stay higher. But a lot of people are very bullish. I posted a poll on my channel about 2 weeks ago asking you guys when you think silver's going to hit $100, and out of 3.2 thousand votes, 54% of people said in less than 6 months. So a lot of people are very bullish on silver. So silver's finally breached $50 an ounce, which begs the question, how high can it go? As gold consistently hits new records, silver bulls have been frustrated by the lack of big moves in the price. Despite that, silver was actually the best performing commodity in 2024 and is in the running to take the crown this year as well. And it was in 2020 as well. A lot of people have no idea how good silver has been performing. And I think they're just desensitized. Like right now, people saw $54. So if silver's at 51, they just automatically are like, oh, silver's down right now. Like there's an article, I was actually going to kind of expose it, but they're mentioning how like, oh, silver's messing up. And it's like, silver's at $51. The highest price has ever been from 1980 and 2011 couldn't break that, and now you're putting a $51 price, looking down on it as like this is a low price. Like it's just funny how short-sighted people are. But regardless, though, you know, gold and silver are both doing extremely well. So Blue Ocean suggests the price could go parabolic, as previous bull markets show that silver outperforms gold by 2 to 4 times during the acceleration phase. And yeah, it's gold on steroids. The gold to silver ratio has been sitting at historically high of 80 to 100 to 1 and over the past 5 years, but bringing it back in line with the average previous 20 years, 40 to 80, could equate a silver price of $70 to $80 an ounce, which a lot of people, are expecting that, the gold to silver ratio to kind of become more of a natural type of ratio, not so extreme. I mean, we saw it up to 125 to 1 in March of 2020, and that's when silver was like $11. But then silver, came back and was the number one performing asset that year. So, quote, I'm not expecting gold to come back anytime soon. I'm actually quite bullish gold. I meant to say I'm actually quite bullish on gold. I think if gold goes to 5,000, even without the gold to silver ratio adjusting, it's just going to continue taking silver prices along for the ride. And yeah, silver is, on the back of it's on the back of gold, but also there's other things beyond gold that's also, that's also pushing it. So it's the best of both worlds. Silver squeeze. There are a few specific factors impacting the price as well. Lack of liquidity continues to cause issues in the silver market. A jump in demand from India in recent weeks has drawn down the supply of available bars to trade in London, as well as strong inflows into silver-backed ETFs. Quote, this has seen silver lease rates, which represents the cost of borrowing the metal, surge to around 30%. Crowley says the shortage would likely support prices. Quote, I wouldn't really want to hang my hat on saying that silver is going to stay around 70 for a long time, but we could definitely get there, I think. So he's saying he thinks it can go up to 70 and maybe go back down to mid 60s. I think that's what he means. So, quote, we've seen over the last few days that's gone over 50, which was the historic high. So it's reached that level on a couple of occasions, and now it's definitely breaking through it. I guess the intriguing thing is, why hasn't this happened before? According to the Silver Institute, silver's on track to be in a deficit for the 5th consecutive year. And yeah, we're starting to see why last time, what brought silver to $50 before was nowhere near as extreme as times are today. But actually, if you use inflation-adjusted prices, it would be like $150-something nowadays. But regardless, right now we're at 51. Let me see, 51.91, and an all-time high of 54.45. So I think there's a general view that there's not a lot of new supply coming into the market. This has been consistent in some of the largest silver producing countries, including Mexico and Peru. They're really not becoming more mining friendly. Actually, the opposite. We're not seeing big mines come online, and that's a bit of an issue from a supply perspective, especially with demand growing. So yeah. Now let's look at this article from Eric Fry. This is a really, really good article, folks. I hope you stuck around this far into the video so you guys could see this. So the great silver shortage, why prices are poised to break out again, and what the latest market panic means for investors. In 1979, 3 heirs to a Texas oil tycoon's fortune decided they could corner the silver market. They're talking about the Hunt brothers, 3 billionaire brothers. In 1980, pushing silver to the highest price till actually yesterday, or Thursday. Collectively known as the Hunt brothers, the trio single-handedly inflated the price of silver. Now, I did like a 3-part docuseries on the Hunt brothers and what happened. There's the mainstream media news side of things, but then there's the reality. It's a very controversial situation, and that's because back then, especially back then, you were really going against the grain to call out like the corrupt financial system, and imagine this story was, everywhere. Imagine if people started wondering, hey, why are these guys buying so much silver? And people were realizing, oh, they're buying silver because the dollar's becoming worthless and they're trying to preserve their wealth and investing into something that holds its value. The government did not want people to know that. They didn't want them to know that these guys are actually smart, doing something smart. So they portrayed these guys as these evil criminals. So when people heard what they're doing, like, oh, they're just trying to do something illegal with silver. They portrayed it that way, but in reality, there's something much different going on. But it's messier than that, because then they started actually doing stuff and got into a whole messy situation. But regardless, though, it's a very fascinating story if you dive deeper into it. beyond just like the mainstream media's narrative that they pushed back then. So, collectively known as the Hunt brothers, the trio single-handedly inflated the price of silver. You see, commodities like silver have highly active futures markets, and this speculative paper trade creates opportunities for daring investors to pull out the rug. After all, owners of futures contracts can demand physical delivery if they choose. And when 98% of silver futures contracts are settled by rolling them over into new contracts, it's easy to forget this fact. Yeah, right? Exactly. That's how this facade is able to continue and how prices are able to stay low. The Hunt brothers made them remember, right? They bought up all the silver, and were like, give it to us. I want it. I want the actual metal. They're like, whoa. We can't do that. Well, why not? Let's make a law on the spot right now saying you can't do it. Actually, let's make a law banning silver trading on the COMEX called Silver Rule 7. No more silver trading. Nope. You can't get your silver. Nope. That's what they had to do on the spot because they clearly could not live up to the Hunt brothers, order. In all of that chaos pushed silver. Regardless, though, it's just so crazy that not only was silver banned back then, but silver was confiscated as well. Slayer, no, that was gold. People confiscated, or FDR in 1933 confiscated everyone's gold. The Executive Order 6102 by FDR, 1933. Give us your gold or you're going to pay a $10,000 fine or 10 years imprisonment or both. Well, the following year, Executive Order 6814 by FDR, 1934, was the exact same thing but with silver. Give us all your silver. If you don't give it to us, you're going to pay a $10,000 fine, 10 years imprisonment in both. A lot of people, if they don't know the history of silver, don't know that silver's been banned before and silver's been confiscated by the people before. So anyways, but look at this. Look at these numbers. This is so crazy. By the end of 1979, the Hunt brothers had quietly bought up 100 million ounces of physical silver and another 150 million through futures contracts. Together, they controlled as much as 1/3 of all silver not owned by governments. All of that. And think about how much 1/3 of all the silver not owned. Silver is still very useful, even though we aren't that advanced digitally and technologically back then. Like, you still needed silver, and people, there's still a market. Like, this was chaos, right? Their massive holdings soon sparked a panic among futures brokers. Traders then realized there was not enough physical silver to satisfy the Hunt brothers' 150 million ounces of futures contracts, so the oil heirs could simply demand silver that no one had, right? This is what's happening for more of a natural basis now. It's not as it's not a publicity stunt or stint or anything. Like, this isn't just controlled from a group of Redditors or the Hunt brothers. This is more just a natural silver squeeze that's happening now. The massive supply-demand imbalance meant prices began to rise. $8, $15, $30. By January 18th, 1980, silver's surged 713% year over year to $49.45 per ounce. The Hunt brothers earned billions in paper profits from the scheme before the COMEX exchange. The main futures option markets for metals stepped in to unwind the squeeze. This is that when they banned silver to basically, stop these charades they were doing. A similar panic happened this month in silver markets, sending prices to heights not seen since the 1979 squeeze. So in today's smart money, I'll detail why silver is now reaching a new 45-year high, what it means for silver stocks, and where to find the best silver plays. So I'm not going to go too much into the history, but silver's still in the zone. So now, even though silver's risen sharply since August, gold has also gone up. That means the silver to gold ratio still sits at 1.25%, keeping it below the target buy range of under 1.27%. In addition, even if the silver to gold ratio rises past 1.27, that shouldn't worry you too much. The rally in 2020 saw the ratio climb 1.5%, while in 2008 it was 3.1. So what does all this mean for silver today? Well, we fully expect the silver squeeze in London to work itself out. High prices tend to bring physical metal out of the woodwork, and commodity exchanges have adopted rules to combat the short squeezes like the ones orchestrated by the Hunt brothers. So, and the underlying fundamentals of silver remain even better than they were in 1979. Silver mining is entering its fifth consecutive year of deficit. And this is what I was mentioning a second ago, right? Things are way more severe than they were back then. So if that pushed silver to $50, then, then what in the world would happen today, especially breaking out of that 45-year cup and handle? So what's more, demand for silver will continue to grow alongside that of artificial intelligence, right? There's the AI revolution. So yeah, we're going to need a lot of silver in, the coming years. So bottom line, the demand for silver and its current short squeeze are benefiting silver stocks and ETFs, right? And the thing is this is not a fixable situation. If you think we have enough silver to go green, you're living in la la land. It's only going to get worse, and that's only going to push prices higher. There's a massive natural squeeze happening. We don't have enough. Everyone wants a slice of the silver pie, but there's not enough pie to go around, and now people are realizing why silver is so valuable, because it plays a critical role in the world, and it much more valuable than gold, right? Silver has way more uses, right? Why is gold 85 times more valuable than silver when silver has 85,000 times more uses than gold does, right? Kind of interesting. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Hope you guys are having a nice Saturday. I usually post noon and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, but I was a little off today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this end of the night video. Hopefully you subscribe, hopefully you like the video, hopefully you're leaving nice comments, hopefully you're sharing it. However, whatever to do to support the channel, I really appreciate it. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thank you for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.